Hi, my name's Mhairi and this is my vlog. This week I want to talk to you about time management tips as requested by Anne of New York, who is currently a little bit stressed and worried about how to manage her time. Never fear, darling, you are about to learn all my inner secrets. Right, okay, so the first thing is I would say about time management. Number one, make sure that you write down your mission statement. This is really important. Somebody when I first moved to LA said that her big bit of advice to me would be keep focused. And I thought, well, that's a bit crazy. You know, here I am with my small sandwich bag full of money. Like, of course I'm focused. I've left everything that I know to be here. But actually it was very good advice because you can become unfocused very quick. So a mission statement helps with this, and either put it on your bulletin board or on a notebook or somewhere visible to keep reminding you that you are going towards the right place. Numero uno. Number two is thinking about whether you're leading or managing your life. And we live in a society that is often, I would say, I don't know, I sound like an authority, but in my opinion, more management driven, because we're all, you know, surrounded with to-do lists and sort of the anxiety of keep producing. Which is good, but you need to know what you're producing and why, which comes into a sense leading your life as opposed to managing it, which again comes down to the mission statement. So I think it's important to have some time out to really think about where you're going, and that can be done daily, have a little thinking time, or weekly or monthly. But somewhere in your planning should be time to think, to make sure that you are, you know, what is the thing? Think smart, work not so hard. Work hard, not smart. No, work smart, not hard. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I would say that's the second. Third thing is discipline. And, you know, if you think about the Olympics, people achieve amazing success and they normally have a coach who's there keeping them on track. And if you're self-employed or, you know, creating your own show, writing your own book, that's really just up to you to keep your own discipline. And that's really, really hard to do. One of my friends talks about your mind being a bit like the monkey mind and having to train that in. And somebody else that I spoke to talks about it being like a toddler and having to train. So whatever image works for you, but you can't just spin around with your mind and you know, do that. You can end up in a pickle and getting nothing done, but you can get a big knot in your stomach. And that is not a good idea. The fourth thing is to plan. I'm going to let that sink in because that's major. Now you've got to plan as if you are invading a small country, which you would not just run across the border screaming wildly while brandishing some sort of weapon. You could do that, clearly, but it might not be the best strategy. So, and also another good image is, you know, to have like a plan, like an architect would have like a blueprint before he started building. So planning is really important. And I think oftentimes, again, because of our need to keep producing, we forget how important planning really is. But if you don't plan, you can waste a crazy amount of time barking up the wrong tree. So I think it's important to plan yearly, and then like every 3 months have a check-in, and then monthly, weekly, daily. That's the trajectory of that. So what I mean by this is, like every Sunday, for example, I make my weekly plan and I have a little thought about every day that's coming up. And I also want to live a balanced life. So I don't want to live like 15-hour-day work days. Obviously, occasionally that's what you need to do, but not as a matter of course. So I look at my week and I build in reasonable times for everything. And some of that might be doing yoga, but actually I think that's integral to success too, because you need to have some downtime. So the main thing is to plan. I read that very successful people always spend time the night before the next day planning to do 3 major things the following day. So I've taken that on board. Much success thanks to that, so I would recommend that. Now when it comes down to your daily plan, I plan out per hour. Sometimes I plan out per 90 minutes, but I look at my day and also I know myself, so I know that I'm generally more productive in the morning than I am late afternoon. By like 3 or 4 o'clock I've kind of almost had it and I really need to walk away from my computer or have a meeting, you know, have a coffee or something with someone, but I can't just be still at my computer. I'm sort of malfunctioning at that stage. So it's a good thing to know where your rhythm is, because you might be more of a nighttime person. So look at your time in your day and work out when you can do your emails, when you can do your writing. I also am very strict on when I look at my emails and my social media. I do it in sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes half an hour increments throughout the day. And when it's not in that moment, I don't do it. And that is really helpful because it calms my mind down. I'm really clear that I don't need to think about my email when it's, say, 10 o'clock. I'll think about that when it's 11. Also, what I've started to do at the beginning of the day is something, I think his name is Hal Elrod. I was going to look that up, but I'll put it in the bit below the thing. He does something called the Miracle Mornings, where you wake up and you do 6 things. You do a meditation, exercise, visualization, affirmation, reading, and writing. And I've been doing that every morning, and again, check his stuff out for more information on how to do that. But that's been amazing because it set the tone for my whole day. And it really makes it more relaxed because within that 6 elements, I just mentioned visualization, and that's been incredibly helpful because I visualize what my day, how I'd ideally like it to go. And then when the day just actually starts unfolding, it feels more relaxed because I've really thought about it, thought about what I want to achieve by doing this vlog, for example, or if I'm contacting someone for a work meeting, I would like them to respond to my email, which is of course with joy, rapture, and bam, green light it straight away. So, I just have that little thought in my morning and it's helped, darling, it has. So I can totally recommend that. The second last thing I'd say is really honestly make sure that you have some downtime because that's when you can process ideas, especially if you're creative, if you're self-employed or a CEO of your own small company or your own large company. You want to have time to process, like percolate, like, whiskey has to percolate and then it's amazing. You can't just bang out great whiskey immediately, and it's the same with your own self-time. You need to allow time to pass and sit in that barrel and then come out with something amazing. So oftentimes towards the end of the day, maybe 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I'll do yoga, and that's when things will come into play from, oh yeah, that's what I should say to that person, or, oh, I forgot that I could contact that person. So plan some time to sort of decompress and amazingly ideas will come to you. My friend in London, Natasha, her dad is a very successful property developer, and every Wednesday afternoon he takes time off to go to a museum, walk up a mountain, or whatever, but he gives himself time to decompress. So if he can do it, and he even has a yacht, darling, so he's obviously successful at that plan. And the number 8 point I'm going to say, and this is thanks to Samantha from Sex and the City when she was giving Carrie advice on whether or not she needed to stay with this guy, and she said to her, is he making you go or is he making you go and if he's making you go obviously kick him to the curb. And I would say that about your own schedule, because you don't want to run your life going around going you want to run your life going and that will go through all your correspondence and all your energy, and the way that you are running your own business, does depend here. It's exactly what Tallulah's message is. You can change the world one sandwich at a time. You are your own sandwich. That's a bit existential. But, effectively be who you want. You can choose how your energy affects how the other people react to you. So you don't want to be going around like a maniac. You might be attracting other maniacs. And, well, maybe you want to be in a barrel of maniacs. But if you want to have some sort of relaxation, I would avoid that. Anyway, let me know what your tips are for management, time management and all that in the comments below. Hope that helps and hope you're relaxing. When it all boils down, it's eagle or the chicken. Anyway, at the end of the day, that's it. Let's start the conversation.